up, we learn what Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital in Taiwan has accomplished over the past 15 years. Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia teach members of the public how to observe the 7th lunar month in the correct manner. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen. Liao. Thank you for joining us. In the Philippines, earlier this month, a fire broke out in Barangay Tatalong of Quezon City, which destroyed 72 homes. Tzu Chi volunteers once again reached out to help the affected families.
Although the distribution is about to begin, Tzu Chi volunteer Josephine made a quick trip home.
Meron din do sa grupo ko na dalawa.
Two of my team members are victims of this recent fire. They lost all their belongings in the fire. I told them we'll be able to help them. We gave them clothing and rice, items to address their immediate needs.
Immediate na kakainin, yun na muna naipadala ko.
A fire which broke out in Quezon City's Barangay Tatalong earlier this month burned 72 homes to the ground, including the home of Tzu Chi volunteer Segundina Adatu. Josephine brought some of her own clothes to the distribution venue for Segundina, who had lost her belongings in the fire.
I'm truly thankful to the Tzu Chi family. We can always count on the volunteers to reach out and come to our assistance.
Besides providing rice, volunteers also brought daily necessities.
Everything was burned. We are left with nothing, so this is really a great help for us.
I'm so happy that
I am really happy to witness such great love and compassion. Your efforts to help these fire victims are truly moving.
Our Tatalong fire victims. I'm so happy.
Love has the ability to turn a frown upside down and calm an anxious heart. And thanks to Tzu Chi's timely assistance, residents find comfort in knowing they are not alone.
Since 2009, Tzu Chi volunteers in China have been holding a distribution in Yi County of Hebei Province every winter to make residents' lives easier. As the drought worsens this year, Tzu Chi is expected to aid more households compared to the past. To get a head start, volunteers recently began conducting home visitations across the county. But first, let's join Tzu Chi volunteers from Fujian as they travel to Xiamen to pay scholarship recipients and their families a visit.
The sky is overcast and a storm is brewing nearby. Undeterred by the poor weather, Tzu Chi volunteers continue to press forward. Su Yuying's father is unable to work because his left leg is amputated, while her mother works as a cleaner and makes handicrafts to support the family.
There are so many people in society who care for us and did not abandon us. You volunteers even came to check up on us. The world is filled with so much warmth.
As Tzu Chi scholarship recipients are spread out across Xiamen, by the time volunteers arrived at Tai Xuezhong's home, it was already an hour later. Tai's father makes a meager income from farming, and the pair lives in the stone house belonging to a relative.
We should absorb as much knowledge as possible. We have received the help of many members of society. So when we have the means, we should use our knowledge and experience to help others. My dad says we are brothers for life.
To get a head start prior to the year-end winter aid distributions, Tzu Chi volunteers are here at Suanzaogou Village in Dalonghua Township, Yi County, to conduct home visits. Mr. Tang, who is in his 60s, was diagnosed with cerebral thrombosis 16 years ago. Tang's son dropped out of school in order to earn money to pay for his father's medical bills, leaving Mrs. Tang to care for her husband on her own.
平常的时候啊，跟大姐啊，要开开心心的，然后她就照顾你，她心里就会很好，很开心，好不好？
Yi County is a mountainous region plagued by infertile land, drought and poor natural resources. Hence, Tzu Chi has been holding relief distributions here every winter since 2009. Due to the worsening drought, the number of aid recipients is expected to increase this year.
Northern China has experienced severe drought in the last 2 years, the consequences of which is low or no harvest. Food shortage is a very serious problem here. We are especially thankful to Tzu Chi. Your presence has brought hope to our villagers.
Tzu Chi's presence over the past 6 years has also given rise to a group of local volunteers, all of whom have joined this most recent home visitation.
We still lack experience when it comes to interacting with the care recipients. For instance, finding ways to bring us and them closer together.
With the care of the Tzu Chi volunteers, this winter will surely be filled with extra warmth for the residents of Yi.
Over the years, Tzu Chi volunteers have been organizing free clinics on a bi-monthly basis for farm workers at the Taipei railway station. Although the most recent free clinic was held following Typhoon Soudelor, Tzu Chi volunteers still insisted on offering their services. Meanwhile, in Hualien, staff of Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital's Department of Community Medicine organized a free eye clinic at Jiaming Village to safeguard the vision of local residents. In Jiaming Village, Hualien County, medical personnel of Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital's Department of Community Medicine are holding a free eye clinic on behalf of locals for the very first time. Although without access to proper medical equipment, doctors still try their best to be as thorough as possible.
Many residents here have cataracts. They don't think that the illness will greatly affect their lives. We want to seize this opportunity to give residents a thorough eye examination.
This is 75-year-old Grandma Jing, who had cataract surgery last May. Lately, however, the senior has discovered that she once again cannot see clearly. Luckily, Tzu Chi's doctors are here to help.
I am very worried because I'll become a burden for my children if I can't see anymore. When I heard of Tzu Chi's free clinic, I knew I had to come. It is very convenient for us to come here, and the service provided by Tzu Chi is the best.
Besides giving each participant an eye exam, doctors also made it a point to pass on some eye care tips.
The sunlight is very powerful. We reminded our free clinic participants, whether they had cataract surgery in the past or not, to put something on when they're out in the sun.
Thanks to Tzu Chi's free eye clinic, residents now have a better understanding of their eye health. Tzu Chi's presence was also felt in Taipei City. This is Nguyen Ting Liao from Vietnam, who is attending Tzu Chi's free clinic for the last time, as she will be heading back home soon.
My boss and the seniors that I take care of are really nice to me. I want to come back to work again because the people in Taiwan are very kind.
Among those helping out is first-timer Chen Zhian.
Many people see them as foreigners. However, they are a part of us since they live in Taiwan too.
Treating their patients like family, these doctors give free clinic participants a sense of belonging and familiar warmth. During the free clinic, psychiatrist Li Jiafu discovered that many foreign caretakers suffer from sleep disorders.
Many foreign caretakers can't sleep soundly at night because they have to take care of seniors. Some seniors may need to use the bathroom or take their medication in the middle of the night. That's why many of them have sleeping problems.
By partaking in Tzu Chi's free clinic, these farm workers not only had their health problems taken care of, but also went home with warmth in their hearts. As Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital celebrates its 15th birthday, its peripheral blood stem cell donation team has collected more than 1,000 bags of stem cells and saved countless leukemia patients over the past 12 years.
I remember clearly it was during a typhoon when Hualien's roads were closed and flights cancelled. The patient was in urgent need, so the Stem Cell Center contacted Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital and asked if we could take over the mission.
12 years ago, an attempt to save a patient's life who had undergone bone marrow ablation and desperately needed a PBSC donation led to the establishment of Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital's PBSC donation team.
Most of the peripheral blood stem cells transplant operations in Taiwan use PBSC collected by Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital. We are in western Taiwan, close to the highway, so it is easy for medical professionals from central or southern Taiwan to come here. They then have more time and do not have to worry about flight time or transfers.
With medical advancements, PBSC donors no longer have to undergo surgery. They only need to receive 5 filgrastim injections before their stem cells are collected via a centrifugal machine.
It is not only for myself but for other people. Many volunteers work together to accomplish this mission. This is my first time working to benefit others, and so many people came to help. I think it is good. I grew from this experience.
As of July 2015, Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital has collected more than 1,000 bags of PBSC and saved countless families, giving patients around the world the hope of recovery from leukemia.
As we have learned in our previous reports, medical resources in the Lumbini, the birthplace of the Buddha, are limited. Unable to afford timely access to medical care, many residents are forced to endure daily suffering from injuries or disease, as well as the loss of loved ones.
Maybe that's what they're doing. Using this water for some other reason.
The thatch roof huts hide a simple existence within, but not one without wisdom.
When the powder from these bricks is spread over the surface of pots, it becomes really easy to clean off the blackened and stained areas that come from cooking. They just fall right off. There are no valuables here, and a piece of candy is enough to bring smiles to children's faces. In some areas, the volunteers' visit is welcomed with song. However, hidden among the beautiful lyrics is the sense of helplessness that many in Lumbini carry in the face of poverty. Despite a good harvest, sadness fills Ramai as he lost his wife 2 months ago. Ramai and his 40-year-old wife had 4 children together. One day when going out to work, she was bitten by a poisonous snake and soon after passed away. When we got her to the hospital, her face was already swollen. The whites of her eyes were showing, and her tongue was thick. She then died there. Unfortunately, such a tragedy was not particular to Ramai, as many here have lost a loved one to snakes. This grandmother lost her only grandson to a snake bite. The pain of that loss still remains 10 years on. Although medical resources do need improvement, many don't have money to pay for the treatment that is available. 14-year-old Lakshmi has not gone to school in years, and her face long ago lost its childish innocence.
My body is swollen, and I can't keep anything down. Whatever I eat, I throw up.
After borrowing money to see a doctor, the family discovered Lakshmi suffers from kidney disease and epilepsy.
At the last clinic, the doctor said that I need to go to a hospital in Kathmandu, but I have no money to do so.
She's borrowing money from her neighbors to try and take her to the hospital. But this is not enough. They need to go to Kathmandu, but they cannot afford it. A good hospital that can serve people right here is very necessary.
The life of those living in the Buddha's birthplace is one of poverty and suffering, while living a healthy, long life is not a given but a luxury. Can the state of affairs be changed? We now take you to Taimali in Taiwan to see how turning a closed elementary school in Duoliang into a woodworking shop has breathed life back into the indigenous Taiwan settlement.
Duoliang is a settlement of the indigenous Taiwan people that sits in the southern end of Taimali Township. The only train station here has long been closed down. The community is also without a school after the local elementary school closed down.
"11 of our students live here in Duoliang, so it takes the school van 2 trips to pick them all up. The first van will be here by 7:10.
Kids here now attend DaAi Elementary just about 6 kilometers away. Even on the summer back-to-school day, the school van is here to pick them up.
Now the number of students has increased. Most of them have moved back here from the west, along with their parents. Now their number exceeds the van's maximum capacity.
The trip to school follows along the eastern coastline and is only just over some 10 minutes. Having more peers to interact with has opened up these students' horizons. With more students, DaAi Elementary will not have to worry about being closed down.
Our school currently has 56 students, and 11 of them come from Duoliang settlement. A school van has been assigned to help transport these 11 students.
我是2年级，我的名字叫郑佳琪。在车上可以跟大家一起玩，很幸福。
Schools that are situated in Taiwan's remote corners often cannot get enough enrollment and are forced to shut down. Such was the fate of Duoliang Elementary, which was one of the first batch of schools to be scrapped 15 years ago. However, the abandoned school building has been given a new life thanks to the driftwood brought by Typhoon Morakot in 2009. Now it has become a woodworking shop for the Taiwan people. Zheng Yuhui, who graduated here, came back with his wife and 2 daughters after the workshop was established.
My daughter are doing better now as they have more friends to interact with. Before they didn't get to play with other children much, which definitely impacted their ability to socialize.
After working at the workshop for 3 years, Zheng Yuhui has begun to establish himself as a carpenter. The family can now plan their future here.
I have collected recyclables and worked all sorts of odd jobs. It was only after 2009 that the workshop was established. Now we can find a steady job here in our hometown.
Many questioned the viability of turning an abandoned school building into a tourist attraction, but the number of tourists that Duoliang gets has silenced critics.
Many people want to come back here so they can take care of their elderly and young.
Many graduates of the school are now an integral part of the workshop.
Though many people left for work, when they come back, they realize their former school has now become a place where they can find work, and they realize that there are something that money just can't buy.
Duoliang Elementary may be no more, but the campus remains and continues to safeguard the community and its residents in another way.
Next, we travel to Malaysia to see how Tzu Chi volunteers teach the public the correct way to observe the 7th lunar month.
Tzu Chi volunteers of the Seremban Liaison Office are here today at Tsinghua Elementary to hold their annual 7th lunar month blessing ceremony. Movies are used to help introduce religious concepts in a simple and accessible way.
The tradition of burning paper money is something that we need to improve on, although our elders believe that burning more will lead to more wealth. This is a habit we need to change.
At Chonghua Lukut Elementary, the same scene could be seen.
If we want to truly be filial children, we need to act on that when our parents are still alive. We need to be thankful for our blessings and cherish the chance to give back to our parents.
Volunteers hope their message on the true meaning of the 7th lunar month will be heard, and that families use this month to cherish the time and opportunity to be together.
The musical Sutra adaptation by young volunteers at the Jingsi Books and Cafe was scheduled to be held on August 8th. However, due to Typhoon Salvador, the performance on the 8th was rescheduled to the following day. Although the young volunteers had to put on 3 performances on the same day, they remained steadfast in their decision to spreading Tzu Chi's philosophy and spirit to members of the public. At the Tzu Chi Humanitarian Center in Guangdu, 358 young volunteers at Jingsi Books and Cafe passed on Tzu Chi's humanistic spirit through their sign language.
So many children are here today to spread the Dharma to members of the public. I believe the Dharma they have learned from these sutras will greatly affect their lives in the future.
Due to Typhoon Salvador, the performance scheduled to be held on August 8th was moved to the following day. Although having to put on 3 sutra adaptations in one day, the young volunteers never missed a beat.
Many natural disasters have happened lately, a fact that has left me depressed. However, I was deeply moved by the young volunteers' performance and now feel a new sense of hope.
These young volunteers are like seeds of hope. Now that we have more than 300 seeds of hope that will flourish in the future, I believe they will all benefit society and humankind in their own way.
Although these young volunteers did not experience Tzu Chi's early years, they now shoulder the mission of spreading the organization's philosophy far and wide. Through their performances, these young volunteers shared with the audience Tzu Chi's humble beginnings, as well as lessons on how to live life with more wisdom and compassion. In Banqiao, New Taipei City, Tzu Chi youth basketball teams from across the country recently participated in Tzu Chi's National Basketball Championship at Jiangcui Junior High School. Although not everyone went home a winner, everyone learned some important lessons that will last a lifetime. At Jiangcui Junior High School in Banqiao, New Taipei City, members of Tzu Chi youth basketball teams from across the country have arrived for Tzu Chi's National Basketball Championship.
Some of us were in charge of taking care of the Tzu Xiaos, and after a while we realized that they are very energetic. We asked them to join Tzu Chi's basketball team as a way to increase their participation.
Despite suffering from an elbow injury, Cai Dongying of Lugang Township still insisted on playing. After joining the basketball team, Cai has learned to never give up.
永不放弃。
还有吗？
要拼战到最后一刻。
Although there are winners and losers in games, however, these young basketball players have learned the importance of never give up and teamwork, 2 lessons that will last them for a lifetime. We go to British Columbia, Canada at the end of the show, where Tzu Chi volunteers in Langley gather together to participate in their monthly Adopt a Street campaign. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.